Today, I will debunk this guy, but I'm not gonna insulting in this video, so let's get started.
Well, I don't see anything cap about those skins, but there's one thing I would like to point out though. You saying Final Wars Godzilla is boundless. Literally, if Final Wars Godzilla was boundless, then literally none of these two pictures would have harmed him. Like, you said that he survived. You didn't say he was completely immune to them. Like, hear me out. The meaning of boundless is like the beings who like scale above like extraversal and like how high outerversal beings, or like extraversal and high outerversal beings like outscale outerversal beings, and yet those two pictures shown in this do nothing to outerversal beings. So yeah, basically boundless greater arrow, extraversal greater arrow, high outerversal greater arrow, outerversal. So yeah, these two pictures shown already disprove your claim on Final Wars Godzilla being boundless.
Yes, I would say it before, Final Wars is boundless, and I'm changing my mind about this. FW is high outerversal at best.
Okay, go ahead and explain how Final Wars Godzilla is heavenly. Go ahead and explain how those two meanings like exactly fit Final Wars Godzilla's description being heavenly. Not like that you explain how, you just said it. Like, go ahead and explain how. Plus, the movie never stated if Final Wars Godzilla was heavenly or not. So this would refute any scan of you saying that Final Wars Godzilla is a heavenly kaiju.
Well, heavenly was remake version of Kaiser form.
Okay, go ahead and explain how they're cosmic kaijus. It's not like everyone's gonna like understand those two screenshots. Like, go ahead and explain how they're like cosmic entities. Again, you just said it. You didn't explain it. Okay, this person just admitted that the kaijus were universal to multiversal, and yes, I'm sure he thinks that Final Wars Godzilla scales up to those universal or multiversal kaijus. So yeah, even if Final Wars Godzilla is universal or multi, he would still lose. Considering the fact that Siren Head could potentially get an the scaling up to Cartooncat and Long Horse, or easily outerversal. Yeah, the other Paintron 6 like Pathetic King or the man with upside down face. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna explain how Siren Head is outerversal. I mean potentially outerversal. I personally think Siren Head is multiversal, but he could go to outerversal, and there are arguments for that. Like, for example, like Siren Head could like harm Long Horse and keep up to Long Horse, and he could like tank attacks or indoor attacks from Long Horse. And yes, this backs my argument up considering the fact that Long Horse is also a potential outerversal being, like I said earlier. I personally think Siren and the Long Horse are multi, but yeah, they have arguments that are leading to outer, considering the fact that these two creatures could like tank our attacks from Cartooncat, who is an easily outerversal to hide an outerversal being. And yes, Cartooncat is easily outerversal to high outerversal, considering the fact that he could like alter his own size, which is easily outerversal, since considering the fact like that, and to lowballers, this is not a high uni plus speed, considering the fact there's plenty of stuff bigger than in the universe. And yes, they're probably like stuff bigger than a multiverse and a hyperverse. So yeah, this at best puts us to high outerversal. So yeah, considering the fact Siren Head could like tank our attacks from Long Horse and Cartooncat, this backs my argument to Siren Head being outer. And I said earlier, I personally think he's multi, but he could be argued to outer by like tanking our attacks and like harming outerversal beings. And yeah, as I said earlier, he could also tank and withstand our attacks from outerversal beings. I was a bit wrong earlier about Long Horse being multi. He is outer but being infinite in size, which is easily an outerversal feat.
This guy used Long Horse for debunk, but Long Horse isn't high outerversal. This guy used CSAP for scale, but CSAP says Long Horse is low multiversal. Even says to Siren Head too. Being an infinite-sized entity or long-sized entity doesn't help to reach you to high outerversal. In Dragon Ball Z, Goku walked to Snake Way, and Snake Way is longest thing but doesn't make him high outerversal. Now I'm gonna explain the FW cosmology. First of all, I put that thing for scale. FW is high complex multiversal plus with low ball, And Godzilla can reach Universal Plus or Multiversal because Kaiser energy is infinite, so that's why he can reach. Also, this guy ignoring my Kaiser are omnipotent statement. But Kaisers are the actually omnipotent, and Godzilla was part of Shinichi Ozaki, and Ozaki was a Kaiser, also controller of Planet X was a Kaiser too, because in film called himself a Kaiser too, and I repeating again, Kaisers are omnipotent. So this is how Final Wars and Final Wars kaiju scales to cosmology.
Kaiju stuff I would like to classify here. Firstly, Space Godzilla is a Heisei kaiju, not a Final Wars kaiju. And second of all, I don't understand what the orange text is saying, so it's free for me to ignore it, since I don't understand what it's saying. So yeah, proceed.
Yes, I know Space Godzilla is not Final Wars kaiju, but FW superior to all Godzillas, also Monster X superior to both Space Godzilla and Final Wars Godzilla. Also, how funny this guy ignored my transcending laws of physics is outerversal, and end of video is still says, FW is large planetary, well FW and Heisei scales to Space Godzilla, so both Heisei and Final Wars can touch to high outerversal. And I have surprised to persons who say transcending laws of physics isn't outerversal. If you still saying this means you don't know philosophy.
How they have an abstract existence. It's not like they're gonna go outerversal for that, since there's one of your scans of that video already refutes this scan. Like one of your own scans already refutes this scan. Like the universal to multiversal scan already refutes the abstract existence scans, considering the fact that this scan may lead the Final Wars kaijus to outerversal, but that one uni to multi-scan already refutes this scan, so yeah, proceed.
First of all, who says I repeat that statement? I'm not do it because it's not writ FW kaijus is universal. I say that it was mistake. I was to trying to say FW kaijus transcending non-existence.
Holy yeah, Braun. Firstly, as I said earlier, Final Wars Godzilla is large planetary at best, and for Monsterverse Godzilla, Monsterverse version 8 star, which leads to star level. And for Godzilla Earth, I don't know how to explain, but from what I heard, Godzilla Earth's atomic breath destroys black holes, which is probably like solar system at best, I think. And for Showa Godzilla, from what I heard, he's universal. So yeah, don't ask me this. That's just from what I heard. I didn't make this up. I didn't explain this. Yeah, that's from what I heard. And for the Heisei version, the Heisei is multi. Again, just like Showa Godzilla being universal, I just heard. Okay? So yeah, the last two statements, Showa Godzilla is uni, while Heisei is multi. These two are from what I heard. I didn't explain them, okay? Heisei Godzilla, greater arrow than Showa Godzilla, greater arrow than Godzilla Earth, greater arrow than Monsterverse Godzilla, greater than Final Wars Godzilla.
This guy downplaying Godzillas right now, even downplaying FW so hard. First of all, Monsterverse Godzilla is solar system level, Showa is low complex multiversal, Godzilla Earth is high complex multiversal, and Heisei Godzilla is high outerversal at best. Now I know why this guy says, Final Wars Godzilla is large planetary. I know why he say this because of Gorath. But Gorath wasn't an asteroid, he was a shield of Monster X. Also, I saw this guy says, FW is MV Godzilla victim, but we have multiple reasons how Final Wars is stronger and superior to any live-action Godzillas.
What you said of Final Wars Godzilla being the strongest version of Godzilla and all the statements you just said without explain how Kaiser Ghidorah is the strongest version of King Ghidorah. It's not like you're gonna just say it, not explain it. So yeah, explain, not just saying it.
And he is cosmic too.
It's like earlier, explain how Kaiser Ghidorah is a cosmic being.
Okay, this guy want how Kaiser Ghidorah is strongest Ghidorah, and I showing this picture on screen. And he's mocking me for that, but I promise to I will not insulting in this video. First of all, Monster X is cosmic kaiju, and Monster X was base form of Kaiser Ghidorah. Kaiser Ghidorah is omnipotent monster and rival enemy of Godzilla. And he's strongest in universe.
Now we know the answer. Final Wars one shot.
Now let's return to the Siren Head debunk. Being a tulpa doesn't automatically make you a cosmic being. Tulpa means phantom. Siren Head is an urban legend, and Trevor called it a tulpa. This photo is about Siren Head, and it's an official photo taken by Trevor. It doesn't show him blowing up a planet or solar system, so that would be one of the reasons for his high outerversal status. Here, we see him twitching his vocal cords when he gets angry, being seen in villages and forests, and the sound of sirens. Being a tulpa doesn't mean you're physically going to blow up a planet. Conclusion: Siren Head is a planetary entity.